Hare Krishna. So we have been discussing the chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita. So I'll just review the context, where we are in the chapter 4. So basically, the chapter 4 is called the transcendental knowledge, and the chapter begins by Krishna explaining the lineage in which this transcendental knowledge is received, right from Krishna to Vivaswan to Manu and all. And then he says, then he after saying this transcendental knowledge, then he directly says about the knowing the appearance and activities of the Lord Krishna as divine. Janma karma chame divyam yevam yeveti tattva tektva deham punarjanma naiti mameti. So means somebody who knows that my activities, sorry, Krishna says, my somebody who knows that my appearance and activities are divine, they upon leaving this body will not take birth again. So, like a lot of people have a lot of ambitions in life, no? Like it is said that somebody who wants to enjoy in life, they actually they have faith in karma, means work hard and enjoy. So somebody who want mental speculations, not who wants to be like philosophy, who wants to be proved as philosopher, he goes on doing mental speculations. He enjoys on certain level, and the karmis enjoys on certain level, maybe on the bodily and sensual level. The philosophers enjoy the happiness of the philosophers is on the mental level, on the mind and ego level. And if you see a spiritualist, his enjoyment is on the spiritual level, means on the level of soul. So somebody who wants to, there is actually, it is said that there is no happiness in this material world. Happiness in this material world is nothing but the absence of misery. So you have nobody likes to go and work 9 to 5 job and schooling and all those things. But they are doing so that they could avoid the misery in their life. They could have money so that they can have shelter, they can have food, they can be everything. If you see clearly, this material nature is cheating. Like it first, as soon as you take birth, material nature will come and it's okay. You got the bill for $1 million. This is your bill. Means you have to, it's an invoice, not bill, invoice. So you have to pay this amount, or invoice, or or loan amount. You have to pay this amount. So, okay, then means it says it imposes the requirements on us, without which we feel that we are not enjoying at all. If you see, we need somebody to associate with, we need something to enjoy with, we need something, like we constantly hanker for happiness. So happiness in this material world is only the absence of misery. Like if you say, like hunger is there. Why hunger is there? Because the material body needs energy, and the stomach, the acids will come up in the body. We feel hunger, we feel weakness. So this material body itself is a imposition. And if you see education system, what we need for survival, we need certain food and certain shelter. And we artificially created so much so that the TVs and the cars and buildings and dresses and so it is like complicated. Like we made it so complicated. So we feel like somebody is there without TV, without internet, without bank balance. How come they are happy? They might be miserable. We feel like that because these are all artificial impositions. And if you go on the level of ego, so we actually work so hard. It is said that happiness in this material world is trying to spend the money which you don't have, and trying to impress the people whom you don't like. So there will be some people there, like for example, He need not be our enemy. If there are enemies also. Like now, if you see in the political terms, if you see in national India wants to defeat Pakistan, Pakistan always compares to India and China and all those things. So, and everybody on different levels, on the personal level, oh, that person is more beautiful, more wealthy than me. So that person is earning more like that. So we have competition, comparison, and all those things. We impose on ourselves. So, and we try to overcome that. We try to prove ourselves, by falsely, not falsely, by working towards that goal, and it creates so much of anxiety. So in this middle world, the person who is earning money is not happy because he has to earn money. Person who is spending money is not happy because he is spending his hard-earned money, and so like means there is no happiness in this middle world. It's like that's what Krishna says. This is kalamashasam. Even though if you feel like there is happiness, it is only flickering, temporary. It only lasts for a very short amount of time. So that is the level of on the mental level and ego level, on that level. But if you go on the spiritual level, the liberation means absence of all the anxieties. There is no need of any, you will not have body also, you will not have this mind, ego, all those things. You will be only in the bliss of impersonal Brahman or Brahman effulgence or Brahma. In Sanskrit they say Brahma, means all pervading. So when the soul is in the moksha, that is called moksha. So further to attain, a person has to be completely free from all his karmas. So what is binding the soul is, the soul is first of all bound by the subtle body, and the subtle body is bound by the gross body. So that way we are bound in this material body, and this material body and the subtle body will have requirements. We want to please the senses of gross body, we want to please the senses of subtle body. For that we have all the anxiety, we are spending all our time and energy to gratify our senses or alleviate our miseries. So if I'm giving basic level, okay. So additional to that, there are families, there are extended families, there are corporations, there are nations, there are societies. So then universal problems like corona. So there are the level keeps on increasing only, not decrease. Okay. So I started with the very basic, on the level of only taking one person. So, but for a person who is liberated, he doesn't have any of these anxieties. You don't have to satisfy, you don't feel hunger, you don't feel thirst, you only feel the bliss. So when our ego is satisfied, our soul gets a sense of achievement. Means little bit of bliss, little bit of satisfaction, ananda. So like now you see like somebody's ego is getting satisfied, right? Or some like now for example you are both India and Pakistan are playing cricket match, and match is so tense, like some very lot of runs to be scored in very few balls, and all of a sudden one batsman comes and hits all the runs and wins the game. You will be so blissful, and the entire day you will be meditating. Oh, that was the moment, like that. What is happening there? Ego is satisfying, and that satisfying is giving little bit of tinge of happiness to the soul. Not the soul, actually, only on the level of ego. So, like the soul is not touched by all those things, but it is trapped by these subtle bodies. Okay. So, but means all these things that are covering and that are trapping the soul gives only anxiety. And we think that if I find a solution for my anxiety, I will be very happy. That is the happiness in this material world. So that is the happiness on the sensual and subtle level in the material world. But for a person who is on the liberated state, means he is free from all these things. So that stage, for that stage to achieve, one has to one has to negate all these pleasures. all these pleasures of on the mental level, on the physical level, on the level of ego, and he should only focus on achieving that liberation, because we discussed, right, how pleasures and pains are both sufferings in this material world. Pains are suffering because it creates a lot of distress in us, and pleasures are suffering because it creates a lot of hope in this on this material world. So I was happy in those days. I want to achieve the same kind of happiness. For that, he keeps working, just like a carrot hanging in front of a donkey. Donkey will keep running to catch a carrot, but as the donkey moves forward, carrot also moves forward. So, so-called happiness, like, for example, somebody who is born in a poor family, he doesn't have any anxiety. He will, whatever he gets, he will make use of the money, and when he gets, he eats, and he will just go through his life. But somebody who was very rich, crorepati or billionaire, suddenly out due to some unfortunate situation, he becomes a pauper, and for that person, like, entire life will be a misery, because he will be thinking how I lived, how was my life. My life was so blissful. How I came into this material, into the situation. He will be comparing his previous life and his present life. He will be always in distress. So that's why Krishna says, for a person who was respected, disrespect is worse than death. So that happiness is a very dynamic, very, it's not a, it's a very relative thing. Yes, yes, Madhuri.
So, what do we do when we find ourselves comparing in some situations? I mean, comparing this bad and everyone's life is different, everyone's journey is different, but how can we stop ourselves from comparing ourselves to others or ourselves in the past versus
Your question will be answered later in this discussion. It's only introduction, okay? So if I don't get answer, you can get. So means why I mentioned all these things is that liberation is on that level, means no anxiety at all. So that for that stage to achieve, the Ashtanga yogis meditate for thousands of years, hundreds of years at least, and achieve that state. But here Krishna is saying, just know my birth and pastimes, the divinity of my birth and pastimes, and you will be liberated. Why? So simple, right? Is there anybody in this Indian community who doesn't know about Krishna? They know. Everybody knows how Krishna, whose son is, what kind of leelas he did, and how what is his role in Mahabharata, and what are his Dwaraka leelas, what is Vrindavan leelas, and all these things we know. And achieving liberation is so simple. Just you can know about Krishna, know about the activities of Krishna, and you just just like it is said that, like, what is the most fortunate situation in this material? Means, like, is a very luckiest situation. What is it? You have any example? Like, huh? No, like, for example, if it is a student getting into IIT, like that, like, what is the ultimate successful position? Are becoming a richest person? Or, no, that cannot be compared. So like that means something which is very which is difficult to achieve. If you say you just know these facts, you'll achieve it. Yes, like for somebody who wants to know, like, preparing for, we all from engineering backgrounds and or medical backgrounds, right? So for one to achieve, become a, like, go or achieve any position like that, you just know this facts, this pastimes of Krishna, you will achieve that highest position. That sounds so simple, and it is often it is not believed at all. So, but knowing means realizing, and when you are suffering, and you know where the medicine is, and you don't just know, right? You will try to take the medicine to cure our disease. So when we know that knowing about Krishna's transcendental nature, about transcendental birth and activities, will relieve us from all anxieties, then we don't stop there. Then what else we can do so that we can achieve more and more spiritual advancement? So then, and after that, Krishna says, how different paths, like karma, jnana, yoga, all those different paths are different degrees of one's realization in Krishna consciousness. Means for a person, a karma yogi is on level 1, a jnana yogi is on level 2, a ashtanga yogi is on level 3, a bhakti yogi is on level 4. So there are different levels of realization. Means karma yogi knows how to only a karma yogi knows how to only work and achieve some result and offer that result to Krishna, but he doesn't know how to be Krishna conscious right from the beginning. And a jnana yogi, he tries to avoid these external things, but he tries to engage his mind and sense, intelligence in the service of Krishna. But a Ashtanga yogi, he tries to engage his mind and senses, purify them, and realize Paramatma within the heart. But a bhakti yogi, a person, a devotee, he utilizes all his senses in the bodily, external body, and mind, senses, and also ego in the service of Krishna. He knows that everything he has to be engaged in service of Krishna. He maintains the families, a family which is centered in Krishna consciousness. He maintains his body for the service of Krishna. He maintains, he is always Krishna. He always thinks of Krishna. Manmana madbhakto madhyajimam namaskru mame vaisyasatyante pratijane priyasam. Means he is always thinking of Krishna. That's how his mind is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. So right from beginning to end, he engages everything. So there are no different paths. There are different levels only. Even if you see religions also, some religions will only promise to the heaven. Some religions will promise only to the Brahman level. Some religions, so like that. Different paths are only different levels. That's why we discussed, right? Not all paths lead to the same destination. They are different paths, lead to different levels. If you are in the first standard, the topmost thing that you can do is pass the first standard, and after passing first standard, what I have to do? You have to go to the second standard. So in the same way, different paths are different levels. Okay, and Krishna after that says, like now, everybody in this material world has to engage in certain type of karma. Means they have to work, and that's why he created 4 varnas. Means Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. As soon as you say this in the Indian community, then question arises: why are you creating these divisions, caste system again? This caste system is already got demolished. Why are you again re-establishing caste system? This is not caste system. This is our nature. What is our nature? Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. And if you see scriptures, Brahmanas are glorified so much. It is said that Krishna is the protector of cows and Brahmanas. Govinda, Namo Brahmana Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitaya. Like that means. So why? Because Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, they all deal with on the level of body only. Means, for example, nobody has to tell a child, no, you have to eat, because there is an alarm in the stomach. It will say, no, you are hungry, you have to eat something. As he grows up, nobody has to say you have to unite with the opposite sex, or nobody has to say, like, no, you want to maintain a family, you have to earn. So these are all already given by the nature himself. But there is somebody who has to specifically guide on the spiritual path. A person cannot by himself or herself cannot get cannot advance in the spiritual path. So means one should train an ignorant person on the how to lead a life on the path of dharma. Dharma se hina pashubi samana, means dharma is the only thing that is making the difference between animals and humans. Animals also doing the same thing, can do the same thing as humans, and humans are also doing the same thing as animals if they neglect the spiritual life. And who are brahmanas? Brahmanas are acharyas, are the spiritually exalted personalities, spiritually realized personalities who have seen the truth. For example, a rich person's son is there. He got somehow missed in a festival, there is a some, I can say, some mela is going on. What do you call that? Fair, some fairs. So, and this person got missed out in the market, and one one person who knows the father and son comes and finds his boy, and he tells that boy, okay, I will take you to your father, you be with me. Means now that boy's future depends on that person, right? Means he knows, that's how, acharyas or sages or brahmanas, they knows the purpose of the human form of life, how we can go back to Godhead, how we can go back to our home, how we can advance on the path of spirituality, which will lead to the ultimate perfection, which will keeps full stop for all of our sufferings for good. That's why if that culture, that knowledge is protected, then there will be a meaning, there will be a purpose for our human society, human civilization. So that's why Krishna gave so much importance for Brahmanas, who teach the importance of spirituality, who teach how to lead a life in the path of dharma. And there are Kshatriyas. The duty of Kshatriyas has to protect the Brahmanas, cows, and see that everybody is following the path of dharma by giving proper protection. And Vaishyas' duty is to feed. Everybody needs nourishment, right? Just like a stomach feeds all the organs, Vaishyas generate wealth and see the needs, physical needs, see to the physical needs are provided. And the Sudras, they actually serve the society in general. So every aspect is needed, and Krishna says that Chatur Varna Maya system. I have created all these 4 Varnas, okay? And based on guna and karma, what they like to do and what is their nature. What type of work they like to do, guna, and karma, what they like to do is guna and karma, and what is their nature, what is their tendencies is guna and karma. So here it's saying by performing karma properly according to dharma, we can progress in our spiritual life. And then he says performing karma with jnana. And but Krishna before that he is saying that, but even though he is in this material world, even though he comes into this material world, these bondages or reactions of karma does not touch him. And then he says how performing karma with jnana means, how to perform karma with jnana means knowing what is karma, what is vikarma, and what is akarma. So that we see in this chapter, in this section. So a lot of introduction, half an hour. So you're able to follow, right, what I have discussed. So I gave a short summary how this chapter is going through. And then here in the verse number 16. Acting in pure devotion service is akarma. Means what Krishna says, right? Acting according to, and karmic reactions. This is because karmic reactions are okay. Krishna says in verse number 16, Kim karma kim akarmeti kavayopi atra mohita tatte karma pravakshyami yajnatva mokshase ashubhat. Krishna says one should act by knowing what is karma, what is akarma, and what is vikarma. Karma, we know, right? What is karma? For every action, there is a reaction. So if you do good, good happens to you. If you do bad to someone, bad happens to you. So that is karma. And vikarma means, like karma means performing good activities. Vikarma means performing bad activities. And akarma means even though you're performing activity, it doesn't give any reaction. So why Krishna has to explain different things like karma, karma, vikarma? Because even the most intelligent men are bewildered on this path. Means what is good for us, what is not good for us. That is difficult to be known. That is difficult to be known. Even the greatly learned personalities. So that's why Krishna is directly giving this knowledge. And why he is giving? It is only because of the Lord's mercy. And everybody should follow this path, and no one can manufacture this religious. Means what is dharma? Dharma is dharma sakshat bhagavad pranitam. Means karma means if you do certain activity, there is in the nature, there is there are the nature's laws of nature. So according to laws of nature, there is laws of state, right? In certain state, like there are some laws, like for example, in India, you cannot in India you can punish a child by hitting it, by beating it to correct a child or something. The parents use danda also. But in America, even if you slap a child, you can call police. So there are like laws of the state. Like the same way there are laws of land also. So unless the state is in line with dharma, in line with the laws of nature, then that state will not progress in spiritually or materially also. So the state laws and the laws of nature should be different. So one should know what are state laws and what are nature's laws for one to lead a life without the reactions. So if you break a law of the state, you will immediately come to know how by you will be immediately a police officer will come behind us when we break a state law. In the same way, when we break the nature's law, these reactions will come. Like what is nature's law? We should not give sufferings to any living entity, or should not kill any living entity, and we should. So those are all nature's laws. Okay, and it is said that nobody actually but when we actually act according to dharma, then you will not be entitled to any reaction. Means that is akarma. You're following, right? So, but it is said in the scriptures, the principles of dharma, dharmasya tattvam nihita guhaya mahajanoyena gatasapanta. Means these principles of dharma are very intricate Only a great, elevated, exalted personalities can know what is dharma. Only exalted personalities can know what is dharma. But it is said, dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhaya, means these principles of dharma is within the hearts of the Mahajanas, because they understood what is dharma and they they lead the life accordingly. So for one to progress in this in the spiritual life, one has to follow the footsteps of Mahajanas. Mahajanoyena gatasapanta. So who are Mahajanas according to scriptures? Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Kumaro, Kapilo Muni, Kapilo Manu, Prahlado, Janako, Bhishma, Balir, Vyasakir, Bayam. Means, so these are the Mahajanas. Lord Brahma, Narada Muni, Lord Shiva, four Kumaras, Lord Kapila, Manu, Prahlada, Janaka, Bhishma, Bali Maharaj, Shukadev Goswami, and Yamadharmaraj. So these 10 personalities are called Mahajanas. So if you take any practice that we perform, like for example, if you see in our temple, there are certain standard prayers, standard procedures we do. Why we have to do like that only? Why can't we just do whimsically whatever we like? Why we have to offer lamb, offer the incense, or pay obeisances? Why? What is the necessity? Like somebody says, why you have to go to temple and worship God? God is everywhere. You can just remember Him and just do your work. That because that is speculation. Means we are only thinking what we know. But scriptures say Mahajanoyana gatasabanta, means follow the footsteps of Mahajanas. Whatever we do in the temple are based on the Pancharatrika Vidhi. Is a book written by Narada Muni himself directly. How to worship, how to invite Lord Krishna in the form of a deity, and how to serve Krishna by serving the deity, serving the deity, and how to take darshan. How to pay obeisances when you see deity. All those things are written in the Pancharatra Vidhi. Means we are following the authority of Narada Muni. Why? Because we don't have so much of purity, so much of intelligence, so much of knowledge how to serve the Lord. So we have to learn from someone who knows how to serve the Lord. So these great personalities, Narada, Brahma, Lord Shiva, four Kumaras, Lord Kapila, Manu, all those personalities, they know how to engage in the process of dharma. If you see in like Draupadi Vastrapharan, they try to disturb Draupadi, and Draupadi asks questions to Bhishma. Oh Bhishma Dev, you are actually you know all the philosophies of dharma. How can you make allow this thing happen in front of you? And Bhishma says, there is Dharmaraj. Where is Dharmaraj? Dharmaraj also. Bhishma Janaka. There is Yudhishthir. He is also personification of Dharma. Yudhishthir Maharaj is incarnation of Yamadharmaraj. You know, right? Yudhishthir Maharaj, Dharmaraj, is the incarnation of Yamadharmaraj. Yamadharmaraj. Yamraj. So he's your husband. If he is not saying anything, how can I say? He says that. So means, but there are higher dharmas and there are lower dharmas. So as much as possible, one should strive to follow or execute both higher and lower dharmas. But when one comes a situation, when one is placed in a situation, if you have to choose either higher dharma or lower dharma, then you can choose a higher dharma than lower dharma. For example, I'll give the example of Bhishma Dev only. Bhishma Dev thought, so as I am maintained by this Kuru king, means Kaurava king. And I should be loyal to him. And he is the king, he is making decision. As a general, he as a member of his parliament, I should abide by I should abide by his decision. That is also dharma, that is Raj Dharma. But there is higher dharma. Anybody should not witness injustice. Anybody should not stand doing nothing when some injustice happening in front of some adharma is happening in front of them. So such a heinous adharma is happening, trying to disturb the and insult her. And Bhishma Dev but Bhishma Dev took. Bhishma Dev did not act it. Bhishma Dev did not say anything. For that reason, he was punished. But somebody may say, then why are you saying Bhishma Dev is Mahajana? He was Mahajana, but by the will of the Lord, because Lord has to, it's the Lord's will for this Kurukshetra happen, this Mahabharata happen. That's why he made the arrangement by the Yogamaya, by the will of the Lord, everything happened. But still, even it is, even though the Bhishma Dev executed his dharma, he was still punished. He was shot in the Kurukshetra war, so much so that for like every inch of his body was pierced by arrows. You know about Kurukshetra war, right? So and even the wise are bewildered about the action and reaction, action and inaction. So, and the next verse, Krishna says, Karmanyo api bodhavyam. One should understand if bodily activities or actions and are in absence of bodily activities or inaction, then one should then how is it that even those possessing discrimination are delivered matter? So that's why we saw that example, right? What is dharma and what is adharma? Means one should know what is akarma, what is vikarma, and we see here. So if you see akarma is something you do good actions, for this you get rewarded. Now here in the first picture, they worked hard and this employer is paying them the money. That is karma. You do nice things, you'll get the rewards. But you do akarma, you rob somebody, here we see a bank robber, right? A robber. He is taking away money. He will be caught by the police and put in the jail. That is vikarma. And here somebody is using their money and all these things and making an offering to Krishna. It is akarma. So in order to act in a dharmic way, one should know what is akarma, what is vikarma, and what is akarma. By knowing the life from the Mahajanas, by their life and teachings. So previously Krishna says, right? Whoever knows my birth and activities will achieve the perfection. And so we can actually learn knowledge, we can actually know how to act or as per dharma in two different ways, by anukaran and anusmaran. Anukaran means by following the footsteps, by following the Mahajanoyana Gatasapanta, means by following the footsteps of Mahajanas, these great advanced personalities. And Anusmaran means by remembering the glories and pastimes of Krishna. So life of Krishna is only for Anusmaran, means knowing the greatness of Krishna and knowing the sweetness of Krishna. That is Anusmaran. And life and like even the life of Lord Ram is also for Anukaran or Anukaran, means one can follow the footsteps of Lord Ram, leading life, how truthful he was, how he actually, to follow the path of Dharma, he was able to sacrifice his personal pains and comforts. So Anukaran is following. Anusmaran is just remembering and knowing the greatness, knowing the sweetness of Krishna. So, and for when we do Anusmaran and Anukaran parallelly, Anusmaran, if you see here in the Akarma chart, the devotees, the different devotees are doing different pastime, different works. Now here one Mata is chanting, one person is cleaning the floor, one Mata is cutting vegetables, and one person is speaking and one person is listening, and other is driving. So whatever activity we may be doing, if we constantly remembering Krishna, we will lead to perfection. That is the easiest way, right? That's why Krishna performs so nice pastimes. And for Anusmaran, we have this Mahajana, life of Mahajanas or exalted personalities. Like if you take the instructions of spiritually advanced personalities, see, like or knowing the knowledge in Parampara, how to learn in Parampara. Krishna is educating to Arjuna, Arjuna then Vyasdeva is writing, and some Acharya is speaking to his disciples. That is one way of acquiring the knowledge. And other way is mental speculation. Like you see here in this picture, like maybe it's a little small, but is this group of scientists coming, okay, a majority of scientists have agreed on one opinion. For example, Big Bang theory. For example, this Darwin theory. They are actually, there is no proof at all. They just because all these imperfect scientists, they agreed all on one point, they explain that as a truth itself. But here this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam and all the scriptures, Vedic knowledge is coming in directly from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's a transcendental knowledge. So we should know what is we should take advantage of this both process of Anusmaran and Anukaran, and also we should have the knowledge what is karma, what is vikarma, and what is akarma, and how to perform akarma. So karma is pious, means like engaging everything in the service of or helping others, creating like now doing charity or building orphan homes or giving whatever is for the benefit of others. So definitely that will, if you feed hungry people, that reaction comes. That you will never go hungry in your future lives or this life. And if you help others, you will also get help. That is karma. And vikarma is here. If we see here, like this hunter, he was killing animals. That he will have to suffer the same pain as he is giving it to animals. And here, if you see the yajna, like here the yajna is why we kept yajna is in Krishna Lila there is a nice pastime. Like yagnik Brahmins, they are trying to perform yajna to satisfy Lord Vishnu. So at that point of time, Krishna and Balram along with other cohort boys, they were actually went for grazing the cows, and they were feeling hungry, and they went to Brahmanas and asked, do you have any, like they sent some boys to ask the Brahmanas that Krishna and Balram is here. They wanted some food. They wanted some something to eat. Then the Brahmanas just neglected them. These boys are illiterate boys. They just neglected them. But the Brahmana Patnis, the wives of Brahma, they realized that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because they were constantly hearing about the news about Krishna and Balram from the different merchants, like somebody who sells the vegetables, or who comes for working in their homes. They are hearing the glories of the Krishna and Balram through them. So that's why they immediately took up all the eatables in their home and then went to feed Krishna and Balram. So then when the wives of Brahmanas, they actually satisfied Krishna, and Krishna then later on gives them benediction and then sends them back, then these Brahmanas realize how foolishly we are trying to satisfy the Vishnu, and Lord Krishna himself directly came and asked us, we failed to feed, but our wives achieved the perfection. So that is not knowing what to do. That is vikarma. That is sinful. So sinful is nothing but it is not pleasing to Krishna. If we give pain to other living entity, like if two living entities are there, both are children of God. So if one child gives pain to other child, the parents will feel pain. Means this is not pleasing to Krishna. That is vikarma also. And akarma is something which is actually pleasing to Krishna. Means the process of bhakti, how to perform the process of bhakti in different process. Chanting the whole, chanting Maha Mantra, chanting Krishna's name, and following 64 principles of bhakti taught, and then discussing spiritual books, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. And when we have this spiritual knowledge, then we'll see the things around us in Shastra Jakshu, according to scriptures. Like for somebody, like we are discussing in the from Bhagavad Gita, right? When you see, okay, what is this world about, then you'll immediately that thing will come. There is nothing in this world, this something like that. When you see any misery in this world, then you'll get a realization. Yes, the whatever said in Bhagavad Gita is true, like that. So having this Shastra Chakshu, and praying to deities and all this, accepting what is favorable to Krishna consciousness and rejecting what is unfavorable to Krishna consciousness. If you see here, there's a small picture here. You see, the karma is on the negative level, negative scale. Means whatever they do, pious activity or impious activity, they are actually going to suffer only. Means anything that is pleasing will lead to suffering. Anything that is distressful, that is also lead to suffering. So karma will lead to suffering only. And jnana is they are on the neutral level. Means they are on the path of Brahman liberation. But the devotees on the positive scale. Anything they do, everything they engage in Krishna service. Everything, like their existence is centered around Krishna consciousness. So they are on the positive scale. They are actually their bhakti credits are keeps increasing like that. So that is the difference. And so now we see, like now after saying this, Krishna says one should be able to, one should see action in inaction and inaction in action. Only a person who can see action in inaction and inaction in action is in the knowledge. Krishna says that. What does that mean? So if for example, in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna thought, right, I will just give up this fighting and go to the forest and will avoid this fighting. I will be happy. I will not get any reaction. But Krishna says, no, you will get greater sinful reaction if you renounce your duty. Means he is seeing action in an action. Means he is thinking that I am not acting by performing, not fighting this war, I will not get any reactions. So if we renounce the war and go, you should not get any reaction if it is true. But Krishna says, no, you will get great sinful reaction. You will directly go to hell. There is no chance for you. Means there is action in the inaction. Means action will give the reaction, right? And inaction in the action means for somebody who is engaged in the process of devotional service. So somebody who is acting as per the laws of dharma. Like if you take the life of Janak Maharaj, he never engaged himself anything which is like for the sense gratification. All this flickering. Should I tell them? It's okay. So he says, inaction in the action means even though the devotees, they are leading the life, and they are doing everything, they are doing job, they are maintaining the families, they are doing all the activities, but they are working for Krishna, they don't get any reaction. Inaction in the action. So one should have this knowledge. So, and one should know how to perform the actions such a way that they they are like, they are doing akarma, inaction in the action. Hmm? So here in the example, if you see Janak Maharaj and Yudhishthira Maharaj, uh, like, you know him as Dharmaraj or Yudhishthira Maharaj? Yudhishthira Maharaj. So even though they were there, they were leading the kingdom, they are the kings of the uh, entire kingdom. They were actually not doing any sense gratificatory thing. Now, they are always Krishna-centered activity. They are only performing Krishna conscious activities. Of course, no, it's not. I don't mean to say that you should avoid completely everything, whatever is, like, because we have conditioning, we cannot lead on the life on that level. Okay, but we should know that how to engage everything in service of Krishna. That's how here, like, there are nice stories also, but already it's time. If you see here, action in the action. Here, Vishwamitra is in the inaction, means is meditating. But as soon as Menaka came and he heard the ankle bells of Menaka, his meditation is broke, and he started engaging in like something else. Means he got distracted. That is, there is inaction in the action. Means even though he is struggling so much because he is not directly Krishna service. Now he wanted to become a Brahmarshi. So it's that still again he achieved the success also. That's the different thing. And if you see other one, like here, this is the picture of where in the Virata Parva, the son of king of Virata, his name is Uttar Kumar. So his name is Uttar Kumar. He actually when Pandavas were in Ajnatavas, they were in the kingdom of king of Virata. At that point of time, Arjuna took the disguised as a woman, and he named herself as herself as Bruhannala. You know this story, right? Yeah. You know, right, Mataji? Mahabharat. So in Mahabharat, what happened is, like when the Pandavas lose the dice match, right? You know when they lose the dice match, the condition was they have to go 12 years in the Vanvas and 1 year in exile, 1 year in incognito. In that 1 year, if the Kauravas were able to find it, trace them out, they have to start all over again. So the last 1 year, Pandavas actually take shelter in the kingdom of Virata Maharaj. So at that point of time, all the Pandavas take different disguise. They disguise as somebody else, and Arjuna disguises himself as Bruhannala, a eunuch. Eunuch, what they call? He's not a man, also not a woman. Eunuch, transgender eunuch. So, and at that point of time, this Kauravas actually they sensed that this Virata Raj, the kingdom of Virata is so opulent, means Pandavas are living there. So Bhishma Dev says, this Kauravas goes to Bhishma Dev and says, can you give the hint where Pandavas are there? And Bhishma Dev says, okay, you have asked, I'm telling you, wherever the Pandavas are there will have opulence, there will be timely rain, there will be all opulences. So then this Kauravas made the survey, which kingdom is more opulent. Then they said, okay, Virata Desh is very nice now. All the crops are nice and no anxieties in this kingdom. Means, yeah. So that's how the Kauravas come to that understanding that Pandavas are in this kingdom. They try to attack the Virata kingdom. So actually, they attacked the Virata kingdom in two fronts. So when the first in the when an enemy of Virata attacked them in one front, all the army of Virata goes to face him. And in the kingdom, there is only this Uttara Kumar, like he is the son of king. So he was just taking care of the palace and all those things. And the Kauravas attacked from the other front. So and try to steal all the cows of the Virata kingdom. So at that point of time, Uttara Kumar takes Arjuna as his charioteer and then chariot driver, and then goes to face them. So before going to face the Kaurava army, Uttara Kumar says, "No, I will defeat everybody. I will no, there is no army that may stand before me." He brags so much about himself, and as soon as he goes there and sees his kingdom, he was not able to stand there. No, he says, "No, no, stop, chariot. Let us run away." And Brahmana is Arjuna himself. No, running away from the war is actually sinful thing. Means even in Bhagavad Gita also, right?
Yeah.
And so then Arjuna takes the role as a warrior, and then this Uttara Kumar drives the chariot, and they finally wins the war.
Yeah, but for this Arjuna one sides, right? So the 1 year
That one is already explained. Yeah. So that's how they means here means inaction in the action means even though Vishwamitra is trying to do inaction, but still he meditates on Menaka and he falls down. Even though Uttara Kumar is trying to do inaction by running away from the battle, he is going to get a sinful reaction. And also here, if you see Janaka Maharaj, he performed all the things, all the activities. He maintained the kingdom, and like now, why he was so much famous is he know what is dharma, and he was so particular about dharma. Like now, Sita Devi was born, and Sita Devi, when she was very young girl, she was playing with a ball, and she threw the ball, and this ball went into and fell in underneath the Shivadhanus, the Shiva's bow, and the Shiva's bow is so heavy, so heavy that for that to move, thousands of men are required. And Sita Devi goes and lifts the bow and then keeps aside and then takes the ball. And Janaka Maharaj gets bewildered. Arey, my daughter has so much strength. So I had to find a matching husband to her strength. Otherwise, no, it will be like no, as per dharma, like no, it said, like wife should be the wife should be unequal or no equal or so husband should be equal or higher than wife. So even though so many kings tries to take the hand of Sita, he was so particular about it. So many then it comes to the point like even all the kings try to attack Janak Maharaj, thinking that he is insulting us by not and finally after this year Sita Devi gets married to Lord Ram, and we saw how Lord Ram when he goes to forest, Sita Devi also goes with him because Janaka Maharaj's wife, she taught the principles of dharma of a wife, how she should be always supportive to the wife in all circumstances, and also he does not interfere any of the aspects, no, and he also gives the guidance to Lord Ram himself. Was so well educated. He actually get all his education from the Ashtavakra Muni in his assembly. So we should not think ourselves the like main cause for our actions, the results of our action. So we should do our duty and see Krishna's stand in every aspect of our life. Okay, we'll end it here. If you have any questions or comments, did I answer your question, Mata? How not to compare? Yes. So that's how. Means like if we know that no, everybody, we should see the hand of, if we see no, compare, everybody has their role, no, like For example, somebody might do less work, but he may get more results. And somebody might do more work and he may get less results. So the pleasures and pains are entitled as per our previous karma, and that is not the goal. That is only the means only. Means we do our duty, and like no, and this comparison arises when we feel when we feel actually. And what is the other question? Compare and
What should we find ourselves comparing with
Karma does
someone
not
else so that we don't-
How should we stop ourselves from comparing?
comparing and
So this is the first question.
Hmm.
Second question is very important for me. We say that whatever is happening in the past for now,
Hmm.
we don't remember. I don't remember what we did in the past
Mm.
life. So why am I suffering from something? So if I know that what I've been punished for,
Mm.
then I can rectify myself and not repeat the same mistakes again.
Yes,
I
yes.
don't even know what I'm getting punished.
Yes, that's a nice question. That's so, but it is actually forgetfulness is a blessing that is Krishna has given to us. So if you see, if you remember all the mistakes that you have done in the previous life, all your enemies of your previous life, then you will have grudges. You'll have you'll act on your previous life, but you don't focus on the present. So, the thing is, as Krishna says, right, do your duty to the best of your abilities in all respects, and don't think that you are the sole responsibilities for the result of your karma. So, when you think that entire all the results depend on my endeavor only, then you will be stressed out. How much I have to work, why I have to do, what I have to do, you will be gone. But do your best, and think about it, how I can do my best, how I can utilize my time and energy in achieving my goal, and do your best and leave the rest. If you I'm coming to that point. So if you have done something wrong, and when you remember, okay, just like for example, somebody murdered, and he was kept in the jail. Okay, this person has murdered, that's why he was imprisoned in the jail. Then that person will have repentance. Oh, I have performed that activity, that's why I am suffering here. So the karma will act in such a way that, like, the suffering in your life comes, but suffering is due to your like our previous, like whatever suffering that you have given to other living entities, that you don't have anything to do now, that you have to go through. The person in the jail, if he repents also, he's not going to release from the jail. He has to go through that. So that reaction, that suffering that is coming into our life, we have to go through it. So once that our term of suffering is ended, it will automatically go off. So, and you should know what you have to do right now, so that you don't get entangled in future also. So there is no need, right, to know, and again, again it will be burden on the mind. So if you know so much about the past, you will not focus on the present. You'll have so much of guilty feeling. And with respect to karma, as I said, everybody is entitled to some happiness, some distress, and we should be doing our duty and carrying on with our karma. So I have very nice examples also nowadays. One person I know in India. He's actually studied in a very nice college, on the levels of IITs and REC, right? He's on the level of that college, and this person, he says, no, if I get only 6 lakhs job per annum, I'm satisfied. So, and he, after this in the final year, He got the job, 6 on the same package that he desired. And then all his friends, they are getting 10 lakh, 12 lakh. And he is in so much of anxiety now. Same person, same degree, same endeavor. One person is getting 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs, 15 lakhs, and this person is got settled with 6 lakhs or 4 lakhs. So, like it depends, how much you are entitled. Even though if you get like the amount of money that you get, it cannot guarantee how much happy you can be. No? So you are comparing with other person in one angle only. How much suffering or happiness that he is going through internally, in his family, in his mind, in his body. We don't know. So comparing is of no use. It will only increases our anxiety and don't give any happiness at all. So, but taking inspiration from others, good, is good. Like inspiration to do our duties. That is the only thing that got. Okay, blend it here. If anybody have any more questions, Hare Krishna. Okay, blend here. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai.